These are 10 unanswered questions an Avatar: The Last Airbender film can explore. Number 10. How was the United Republic Council formed? By 120 years after the Air Nomad genocide, the council in the Republic City that oversaw the United Republic of Nations was formed, with Sokka representing the Southern Water Tribe, and the other 4 nations being represented by unknown individuals. I think it could be interesting to see how Sokka got the position and who the other 4 people are, especially the Air Nomad representative, since Aang would have been the only airbender at this point. Number 9. What happened to Zuko's half-sister Kai? Kai was the daughter of Ursa and Ikkum, after being given the identities of Noriko and Norin, respectively, from the Mother of Faces. She is the half-sibling of Zuko and Azula, and the great-granddaughter of Roku, and has been shown to be a firebender. I would love to see her fleshed out in a film, maybe even elevated to a main character. Number 8. How did Toff become chief of police? A lot of people have pointed out how it's ironic that Toff became a police officer after she had such a flagrant disrespect for the law for the entire first series. I'd like to see what motivated her into becoming a police officer to begin with, and how she would have behaved in that position given her attitude. Number 7. How did Katara ban bloodbending? We learned from Yukon that Katara sometime in the past petitioned and was successful in making bloodbending a criminal act. But if Hama was in prison and nobody knew Yukon was a bloodbender, then why would Katara even need to ban it if she thought she was the only one capable of doing it? Maybe something came out about her being a bloodbender and it damaged her reputation. Or maybe she encountered some other bloodbender besides Hama. Number 6. How did Aang discover new sky bisons / ring-tailed winged lemurs? According to Mike and Brian, both the winged lemurs and the sky bison in The Legend of Korra were an entirely different species from Appa and Momo in The Last Airbender. Aang found these species sometime after the 100-Year War, and I would like to see that moment realized in the film. Number 5. What happened to Azula? This is a huge unanswered question, one that was apparently somewhat planned for a 4th season of Avatar: The Last Airbender. We don't really get an answer in the comics either. When we last see her, she states that she's accepted that she'll never be Fire Lord and makes it her life mission to turn Zuko into a ruthless leader. This sounds like an amazing potential for a follow-up film in my opinion. She had a mental breakdown and was imprisoned just like her father. There is the theory that the shaman on Bonte Island is actually Azula, but this is a dumb theory because her firebending isn't even blue. And also, why would this be Azula? Number 4. Will Mai and Zuko get back together? At the end of the original series, Zuko and Mai are firmly established as a couple. In The Legend of Korra, Zuko is retired and his daughter, who looks suspiciously like Mai, is the new Fire Lord. In the comics, however, they decided Mai should break up with Zuko because she learns that he's been secretly meeting with his father, something we first see in the last moments of the original series. I think a film will once and for all determine whether this relationship ends with them being together and having Azumi, or whether Azumi's mother is somebody else. I think it would be a lot to establish an entirely new love interest for Zuko, so I'm pretty sure we'll just see their relationship be re-established. Number 3. What happened to Ron and Shaw being the last dragons? In The Legend of Korra, Zuko owns a dragon named Druk. Many people theorize that Ron and Shaw were the parents of Druk, but apparently Zuko just found this dragon as a baby one day, and it grew up to be his companion. I have no idea how this is possible if Ron and Shaw were supposed to be the last dragons, but I guess it's something that a film could explore. Number 2. What happened to Suki? This is probably the most odd absence in The Legend of Korra. Suki was established as Sokka's primary love interest, and we see this continued in the comics, but she's completely absent in all the flashbacks of The Legend of Korra. Sure, maybe she went back to Kyoshi Island, but she seems like she was pretty comfortable acting as Zuko's bodyguard in the comics, and there was no urgency for her to return home. Not only is Suki gone, but there's basically no trace of the Kyoshi warriors either. You'd think that they would develop to become more international since the 100-Year War, as they allowed Fire Nation girls like Ty Lee to join. A lot of people theorize that the Kyoshi warriors became the anti-bending chi blockers, but this seems kind of a stretch, especially considering where some of the comics have left off. Number 1 is Syrian, Sokka's daughter. Ever since Syrian was introduced in The Legend of Korra, there has been a lot of fuel around whether or not Syrian is the daughter of Sokka and Toff. I think we'll likely know for certain if we see these 2 characters as adults. Either Sokka will be with Suki, or perhaps their budding relationship later in life could explain Suki's absence in some way. Either way, we'll likely get a lot more evidence to come to a more decisive conclusion on what their relationship dynamic was like as adults. That's all for this video. If you guys liked it and would like to see more videos, please go ahead and leave a like and a subscription. And if you guys have any suggestions or comments, or you disagree with anything, please leave it in the comments below. I'll talk to you guys on my next video.